Hi guys, so for anyone wondering where the Luna episode is, don't you worry, it will be next. Just I'm notoriously bad at learning girl groups and there's 12 of them, so like bear with me, it may take some time. So what I thought I'd do before that is a nice little placeholder video of me doing more opinion things. You guys seemed to enjoy that last time. While this isn't specifically about singing or vocals necessarily, I thought you guys might like to know a little bit more about me in terms of the K-pop groups that I like, I listen to, and that I really vibe with. Obviously a little precursor, this is just my opinion. I'm not saying these guys are the best or they have the best music. To me, these are the guys I listen to the most, I enjoy the most and vibe with the most for many, many different reasons. Just to put that out there in case anyone's sad that their favourite isn't here. I'm sure I like them as well, just we have different opinions and different stuff like that. Also, ignore my hair, the barbers are closed in the UK, nothing I can do about it, we're just going to have to accept it. Okay, so the way I want to do this video is I'm doing a top 5. You may be wondering why I'm not doing a top 10 like last time. Purely and simply because I don't have as much to passionately say on basically the second half of this list. I've got them written down as like honourable mentions, which I will tell you through now. So, ONEUS, the boys, BTS, ACE and Pentagon would make 6 to 10 in some form of order. I just don't really have a great deal to say about them in terms of the journey I went on with them or why I enjoy the group a particularly large amount. So what I thought I'd do is stick to the 5 that have more of a story on, because I don't really like to talk about nothing. I like to waffle on for far too long about things so people could be condensed in 1 minute, because that's who I am and that's what I enjoy. Okay guys, so without further ado, I also want to tell you that I'm going to do basically my top 3 songs by this artist at the end of the video, or at the end of each section, as well as my bias, just for those of you guys that are interested in really who I love in all these groups. Anyway, so without further ado, let's get into number 5. Okay guys, just to make it abundantly clear, when I say NCT, I mean all 23 of them, Wavy, NCT Dream, NCT 127. I predominantly enjoy NCT 127 the most of all of them, but I do enjoy basically a lot of the stuff that those guys have produced. Okay, there are a few different reasons I really love NCT. It's a love that kind of recently developed. I didn't love them as much as I do now back in the day when I first get to know them, purely because their music, I feel like, and I was told by my lovely friend who mentioned before, that you're not meant to get it initially. NCT are very, very futuristic. A lot of their sounds are things that you might hear in 5 years and understand as basically the meta of how music sounds. But every single song that NCT have ever put out almost entirely has made you listen and go, huh? Was that good? Because right now, maybe it's not, maybe it is. It's hard to really decipher, but you know that their music is going to pop off later on. I don't think I've heard a single NCT song outside of a few, which have really made me on first listen go, I love this is a bop. But eventually they all become absolute slaps. Like, it's so strange. I have heard several NCT songs and kind of went, yeah, I don't like that at all. For example, Make-A-Wish. I first heard Make-A-Wish and thought, nah. I now literally go, I could do this all day, every 5 seconds at home, because their songs just have an inbuilt quality that makes you kind of go, yeah, oh my god, this is awesome. It's just, they have a style that is so futuristic, so different, and so SM and so polished that it just makes you really think and understand that they have a musical direction which at some point down the line is going to make way more sense than it does right now. That's first and foremost why I like them. Secondly, as you know, I'm boring and love to learn things, and to me learning a 23-man group was a bit of an achievement. I was quite proud of myself because I've got a lot of stuff going in here, like a lot of capital cities and band singers and just lots of things. So learning 23 Asian boys was not the easiest task for me, but eventually after doing all 3 of the vocal rankings, I worked them out and I've got them, I know their positions, I'm just very happy with it. To me, if you can learn 23 people and know exactly what they all do in a group, you probably like them quite a lot. And as well as that, the journey I went on, my friend, again, I liked them a little bit and heard a little bit because of the vocal rankings that I did for them, but she used to say to me, there was one particular night she went to me, have you heard this and this song? And I went, I haven't heard them, including Highway to Heaven, which is an absolutely amazing song. And she went, right, just listen to them. And again, we bonded over them, Haechan, all the members, all that sort of thing. And she's the person I want to do the NCT vocal ranking with as well. It's just, yeah, it's just a journey for me. And I didn't get them, I now get them, and I absolutely love NCT. As well as that, their vocals are awesome. Their dancing is fantastic and industry leading in some certain aspects. And yeah, they're just absolutely unbelievable and in future will be even better. Okay, so my top 3 NCT songs are Chain, because the first one I listened to and it made me really get into them. Superhuman, because I didn't know about it and I heard it and went, oh my god, this is one of the few that actually makes sense on first listen, and there's lots of Haechan, which is fine. And then Highway to Heaven is my number 1 NCT song because it's just It's so melodically and poppy and different, and I really just love that for them. And my bias from NCT, if you don't already know, is Mr. Haechan. Of course it is. I went on a slight rant about him last time because he's bloody awesome. So yeah, that's my thoughts on NCT. Okay, so if this isn't abundantly clear, I rather like EXO, as I've kind of mentioned in like all videos in some capacity. They're always mentioned in some way. Also, it might be kind of obvious as well that I have only gotten into K-pop very recently. I haven't really experienced much with second-gen groups or older groups, so a lot of the groups I like are ones I discovered right now. So EXO are kind of the oldest I go, just as a kind of bit of a spoiler for those who were hoping for like Super Junior or something. They're not there. These are the guys I really vibe with the most. Okay, so there are three main reasons why I adore EXO. Firstly, Dio, ultimate biased. I've been through his story a million times. If you want to know more about that, click on my favourite singers list in K-pop, and I'll explain much more about that. I don't need to go on about that again. Secondly, same sort of vein, EXO are the ones that got me into K-pop. I've mentioned this story a million times, but I'll just rephrase it a little bit. So basically, I didn't know anything about K-pop. My brother played me Call Me Baby. I thought, oh, that's quite a catchy little ditty. Few years later, or a few months later, I saw a vocal kind of analysis of an acoustic performance set that they did in Seoul, and I went, oh my god, these are awesome. And I needed to learn more about them, and then that kind of entered me into the world of K-pop, learning about singing, learning about singers, and learning about how to basically learn a group and who these guys all were. And they were the first bridge into K-pop that I ever had. And EXO, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have done this channel, wouldn't have got further into them, I wouldn't have cared if their music wasn't so captivating and so fantastic. EXO are the ones that really made me kind of go, okay, K-pop is a legitimate, amazing art form, let's develop more. As well as that, their vocals. Obviously, I'm a bit of a vocal nerd and vocal fan. And EXO, I'm just gonna kind of put it out there, of groups that are still currently active fully, they're number one or number two in terms of vocal line ability, and I just love it when groups have something they're particularly obviously very bloody good at. And EXO decided that they want to be very, very good at singing. They're great at dancing too, and they have obviously amazing aspects in a lot of different ways, but their vocals are industry leading, absolutely fantastic. And anyone that doesn't really like EXO's music, that's fine. No one ever tried to deny their vocals because they're just unbelievable and amazing with Chen, Baekhyun and Dio, and even the guys a little bit further down. Their music as a whole, the reason they're fourth is because I don't listen to their music as much as the guys coming up, but I like them a lot more than the people I haven't mentioned and the ones I've mentioned below. They don't get played as often, and there isn't as many EXO songs that I would say I absolutely adore, but because of the gateway into K-pop that they were for me, I have to give them a mention, even though it's a little bit further down on the list. But musically, they are still fun, they're very varied, they have some amazing B-sides, all their albums really slap hard, and they've got vocals for days laid all the way through. Okay, so my top three EXO songs are Monster, because it's a mainstream hit, and a lot of people don't think they've ever topped Monster. A lot of people think it's overplayed. I am that place in the middle. I think it's great. Has there been better? Yeah, but it's an amazing, iconic track. Secondly, Ya Ya Ya. My amazing friend showed me Ya 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 on a playlist, and I was like, okay, this is a weird R&B awesome fusion with Baekhyun taking centre stage off the Obsession album. Absolutely unbelievable song. If you haven't heard Ya Ya Ya, listen to Ya Ya Ya. It's insane. And my favourite, which may come as a surprise to a lot of people, it was my most played song of 2019, is Power. I don't really know why. I literally was on the bus a lot of times and I just played it on repeat, on repeat, on repeat when my playlist was a lot smaller. And I just absolutely adore Power. It's so catchy and so bombastic and so fun. And obviously, for those who don't already know, my love and admiration for Mr. Kyungsu Do, he is my ultimate bias in K-pop, as well as obviously EXO. So yeah. Okay, so number 3 is Stray Kids. Now, there's an abundance of reasons for this. I'm probably going to forget half of them, but the main one is they were the third group I ever listened to, but they were the ones that made me understand that K-pop is not just catchy, light concept, bombastic, stuff that I honestly, genuinely going in kind of thought it was. First one I listened to was Miro, and then Miro and Felix and goes, you're like, what is this dark, nasty, EDM, dancey, rap-heavy infused stuff? Because as I say, I thought it was all catchy, fun stuff, but then Stray Kids came in and literally made it darker and more hip-hop, and I was like, what is this? And how varied actually is K-pop? It was the first group I would say that made me really understand that K-pop wasn't just one thing, and I really appreciate that about Stray Kids. As well as that, they're my sister's favourite group, and we bond over them quite a lot. She loves learning facts, bless her heart, and she likes to tell me about all their birthdays, about all the members, about different facts that she's got, and whenever I go back home and we just talk about them, it's just a really nice just thing to discuss and talk about, and they've got a lot of music that we told each other about, that we found out for the first time. And my sister went through a lot of these groups with me that I learned, but Stray Kids were the ones that we talked about the most, the ones that she vibed with the most. It was one of the few groups that made me really kind of go, wow, I adore their music. As well as that, I, for the first time, listened to a full album basically at time of release with Stray Kids. I don't do that a great deal. I don't really necessarily care to listen to things when they're released or the day after or the day before. I'm not too bothered about it. I'll just catch it when I catch it. But when Go Live came out, me and my sister both went, Go Live's out! And we stayed at home. We put our headphones in, listened for the full hour, the duration of the album. It was the first album that I listened to, but also made me kind of go, wow, that was great. And to me, they haven't put out a disappointing release. I'm sure there's some people that think they possibly have, but of all the albums that they've got, there's at least one or two songs that I adore. And for the most part, their entire discography, all the way through, front to back, is really polished, really good, and really amazing. And I don't think that people give Stray Kids like enough credit for their kind of almost flawless discography to this point. Obviously, they haven't been out for like too long, but the music that they got is really varied, really fun, and really amazing. As well as that, Changbin was my bias for ages, and he made me understand that K-pop rap is a legitimate rap thing. I just thought they all had a rapper because they needed a rapper, then Changbin came and went, I'm a legitimately fantastic bloody rapper. And I was like, wow, okay, I guess K-pop rap is absolutely fantastic. As well as that, I've mentioned their music and kind of how much I vibe with it and how great it is. Okay, so my top 3 songs of Stray Kids are, in third place, Booster, off the Levanta album. If you haven't heard this one, it's a B-side, and it's just really catchy and energetic, and it's got a lot of heavier vocals than shouting the chorus, and I just really vibe with that kind of more gang vocal laden, just punchy, powerful pop music. Number 2, District 9. Now, it's their debut after kind of all the pre-debut stuff, and it was, again, the first one I heard outside of Miro, and just the rap lines and the heaviness of it, and the EDM just made me kind of go, whoa, this is different, this is awesome, I bloody love the way this sounds. And number 1, another surprising one off the Go Live album, Phobia. I think Phobia is when Han really took off and showed that he is almost main vocal material in this particular group, and it has some amazing vocal lines. It's amazingly catchy. I absolutely bloody love it. As well as that, I forgot one point I was going to make. Stray Kids are this high as well because they're the video that blew me up. I say blow me up, like obviously moderately, but I went from 800 subscribers to about 3,000 to 4,000 of the Stray Kids vocal ranking alone, and just for that I have loyalty to them, and I really appreciate that. So oh, I also got overexcited and forgot to mention my bias. It used to be Changbin for a long time, but it changed to Hyunjin. I have no real reason. He's just a beautiful man with beautiful dancing, and I just like every single time he ends a rap, he goes, tell me that shit, yeah? It's like a falsetto kind of thing, and I just love a falsetto clip, and just that alone, and the pride that he shows to not want to be just known as a visual, I just respect him. I respect the hustle. However, I want to make a petition. Bring back short-haired Hyunjin. The long hair's been here too long. It's fine. I want short-haired Hyunjin back. Okay, so number 2, may come as a surprise, I don't mention them at all, is ATEEZ. Okay, so, as you know from the top 10 favourite vocalists list, if you have watched that video, I love a journey. And no K-pop group has took me on a bigger journey of what I felt about them than ATEEZ. NCT, I used to be like, and then I went, I love them. ATEEZ, me and my sister both agree with this, went from, I hate you ATEEZ, your music is not what I want, it's too noisy, there's too much electronica, the chorus is that melodic, I don't get it, I don't like it, bugger off. And now we're both like, bum, mama, weird. It's just, literally, the change in opinion that me and my sister went on because of ATEEZ is absolutely borderline startling. Like I say, I hated them. We listened to Pirate King, and I went, nah, no, way too much going on, don't like them, terrible. And now I adore ATEEZ and will defend them with my very soul, because their music all the way through, it's so different, and they're obviously much more internationally viable than Korean. So they obviously appeal to the more EDM and rap heavy and empty chorus kind of Western market, because that's where most of their fans are. And I initially hate Western pop music. A lot of it I really do not like. But ATEEZ, when I did their vocal ranking, because I went in kind of going, oh, I don't want to do ATEEZ, I don't like them, I can't be positive and objective. But I listened to the songs, understood it more. Because I've done NCT previously, I understood the whole futuristic, different market vibe, and it made me kind of go, right, that's what they're going for, that makes sense. And again, their songs a lot of the time didn't hit me first time. When I first listened to Wonderland, I thought it's alright, and now I bloody love Wonderland with every fibre of my being. So yeah, ATEEZ, made me question what I actually like, and when something musically challenges me, I really appreciate it, because I know what genres I like, I know what vocals I like, I know what style of music I enjoy, but ATEEZ took that whole concept and premise and went, ha ha ha, you think you do, but here's something totally different, totally new, and we're going to blow your minds with the way that we do our stuff. As well as that, vocally, they've got obviously Jungho, who's amazing, and they're good all the way through, but the thing that really get me, and a lot of people about ATEEZ, is their performance. Now, I know that 4th Gen, for the most part, is very performance-heavy. They're, to me, industry-leading in what they do, their stage presence, how captivating they are, just the energy that they give on stage, particularly people like San, Songhwa, and Hongjun with their facials and their power. They're just so captivating to watch. Their dance practices are ethereal, they're so powerful, and just so interesting. And their music all the way through, yeah, it just really... It settles in a nice place. It didn't used to, but it really, really, really does now. So my top 3 ATEEZ songs are, in 3rd place, Dazzling Light. I believe it's off the Wonderland album. I don't know if that's what the album's called, but it's the one with Wonderland on. And it's just, it shows, in my opinion, the best rap battle between Mingi and Hongjun, because Mingi decided to not go, he decided to actually, like, rap forward and not, like, his voice is placed in his back, which I really appreciate, because Mingi's rap is occasionally the one thing that can ruin things for me. Number 2, Inception. Inception came out at a really interesting time for me, and just the message of it, the way it sounded, and just the overall style and vibe of that song. It's still kind of weirdly nostalgic for me, even though it came out last year. It means a lot, and I like it, and it just sounds fantastic. Except from Your Sang didn't need a weird breakdancing bit. That's weird. And then number 1, Wonderland. I hate to be that mainstream, but Wonderland is like the slap to end all slaps. It's just, it comes on, and you're like, ah, yes. The second Hongjun's going, oh, Asman now. You're like, come on! Energy, just personified. So yeah, ATEEZ. 0 to hero. Bloody hell, what a hero. Sorry, I got excited again. So, my bias in ATEEZ, bias even, is Mr. Hongjun. The man is charisma personified. He rocked a mullet. Mullets are terrible, always. But Hongjun looked good with the mullet. Amazing man. Eyebrow stitch, we love it. We love his stage presence. We love his facials. We love the fact that he's such a soft little boy and he's not being all cool and sexy. We just love Hongjun. Hongjun's a great man, and yes, what a guy. Okay, so if you've been on the channel for a while, you know that I identify as a carrot. I love being known as a carrot. Now, all these groups, I would say I'm part of their fandom to a point, but 17 are the ones that I will literally go on a rant about forever. If anyone asks me my favourite K-pop group, I will say 17, 17, 17 right here, because we love them. They're amazing, right? There are so many reasons why I adore 17. Let's just try and go through them. I may stutter in this entry a little bit because I'm going to be thinking. But firstly, they're a 13-person group. When I was doing my vocal rankings, I got to 17 and went, I'm a little bit intimidated by that. And again, I learnt them really quickly because of their kind of performance team, hip-hop team, and vocal team. I just felt a sense of accomplishment. I was like, you know what, Sam? Well done you. You're terrible with names. You learned 13 men really easily. I also kind of want to remake that video if anyone's curious, because I think it's a bit outdated, if I'm honest. But anyway, I digress. Their music. Oh my god, 17's music. Firstly, the variety. They don't do like the same genre twice seemingly. When they first started, Pretty You, Manse, pop, 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 dancing, pop, dancing, pop. And then as they went on, hit, what, oh, you're like, what is this EDM? Energetic, craziness. And then there was things like Fear that was more theatrical and a bit darker. 24 Hour, dripping it all the way back into and just really just chilled out and really interesting. And just the variety in their music. In my opinion, 17 have not put out a single bad comeback. Now, all the groups I've mentioned so far, there's probably at least one comeback that I don't really love as much as the rest. 17 have not put a foot wrong yet. Since they've been out, since like 2015, 2016? I don't remember exactly. But they have put out nothing but absolute bloody quality, and nobody can convince me otherwise. Every single title track absolutely slaps. Half of their other songs, like Lucky, for example, which is a B-side, absolutely hits super hard. And just, there is no one, in my opinion, in K-pop that have put out a more stellar group of comebacks and just amazing title tracks, and they're just fantastic. Okay, thirdly, their talent levels. Obviously, I'm not one of those people that's put your favours on the level, blah, blah, blah. I don't really care about anything like that. People like what they like for many different reasons. But 17 are industry-leading dancers. That is basically not disputed by anybody. Their synchronization, Hoshi's choreography, their main dancers, lead dancers all the way through. The fact that Sungkwan is the worst dancer and is still fantastic at it just shows that they are just industry-leading in that particular aspect. And as well as that, they got me into dance practices. Now, me and my sister, when I go home, love to watch dance practices because she likes dancing and different things about it. She's taught me a few things about dance as well. But we just love watching dance practices, and it wasn't until I don't think 17 and BTS in particular that we started watching their dance practices, realised they were really fun and interesting to watch, and it goes really heavily into that medium. As well as that, their vocals, I've already mentioned on my singles list. DK is my favourite voice outside of Nostalgia because he's absolutely fantastic. Sungkwan's insane, and then the rest of the singers all the way through are really good, even as far down as like Mingyu, who still holds his own vocally. And as well as that, they're funny as! Now, I'm a person that doesn't laugh a great deal. I have quite a hard sense of humour to please because I'm an idiot and weird and like strange things. But 17, I watched their kind of compilations and I'm laughing. Like, Sungkwan is making me giggle. He's a humorous boy, as is DK, as is Hoshi, and as is people like Joshua. They just say stupid stuff and do stupid stuff, and I'm like, that's actually hilarious. And again, that's not something I look for. I don't really care about that. But then the first group, I would say personality-wise, I vibe with on like a really intense level because they're so funny and so captivating, so talented, their music's so varied. And yeah, I could go on for days about why 17 are like just the best, in my opinion, of course. They're just absolutely awesome. And I think that anyone that doesn't like K-pop, not that anyone will be watching this if they don't like K-pop, should just appreciate the fact that 17 are like stupidly good at everything. And yeah, stan 17, carrots for life. I just bloody love it. Okay, my top 3 17 songs. This changes daily. It depends on what I fancy. Like Fear, Hit could easily be here. Manse sometimes could be here. But these are the 3 I think I consistently like the most. Third place, 24 Hour. As I said, I didn't expect like 24 Hour that much. When I first heard, I kind of went, this is alright. But I now play it like 4 times a day because I just love the way it's written, the way that Woozy has made people go from low to medium to high. It all just sinks in really well. And that dance, 24 Hours of dance is just good. Second place, Clap. Clap is an energetic, slightly rock-leaning thing. And I sing the bridge with Sungkwan and DK doing a bit like daily, and my housemate probably wants to punch me in the face because of it, but it's just an amazing, energetic, fun, fantastic song. Number 1, Call Call Call, Japanese release. It's rocky, it's energetic, it's captivating, it's awesome. DK hits so hard in that song, the dance is bloody insane, and I want to cry for them just looking at it. And yeah, just absolutely fantastic, amazing, and actually, yeah. I'm not going to forget the bias this time. It's Mr. Sungkwan. Now, there's a few people that could be in this place, but Sungkwan is the funniest. He is just a slapstick idiot. His variety show performances are amazing. His vocals are really good. And yeah, I just really love Boo Sungkwan. And I know him as Boo because it's a cute name. Okay, thank you for watching that, guys. I know all the entries were quite long and I shouted quite a lot because I'm quite passionate about this sort of thing. I know you guys like it when I get all passionate, so I thought I'd do that to the extreme today, and I hope you guys appreciated it very much. Luna are next. I don't know if they'll be in January or early February. I will do my best to learn them quickly, but it's going to take me a while because my brain just it has lots of things in it. So yeah, thank you for watching this, and goodbye.